Hey there, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. I'm showing you today what I call a paper towel journal. It's where you take your regular paper towel rolls, you flatten them in your die cut machine so they're nice and flat, and then you will cut them in a way that helps you make them into a small journal. You cover it with papers. I have an interlocking system that I use to keep everybody together, and I'm going to do a journal on that. I'm going to do a video on that in a few days, and get you up on the skivvy, so you can start making these. I've got tons of paper towel rolls up there I've been saving. Of course, this was my button closure that I come up with, and it's two flat buttons together, and this is like one of those jute cords, but when you put it in between, it pinches, and it's wonderful. I didn't know how to do the button and string closure, so I came up with this, and everybody seems to really enjoy that, and it really holds it shut. Okay, here is a paper towel cover that I made the previous year. You can see it's kind of flat, doesn't have much give or anything there, but it's a good size journal. I did all this decoration. I got the Tim Holtz ladies on here and some Tim Holtz ephemera, his little paper clip. I tried to use a bunch of things that were color coded toward fall, and I have little ribbon spools and jute and all kinds of goodies. Anyhow, and I used up a paper pad that I had for ages. But it was a pretty color to go with this. Okay. So inside, I didn't try to put any pockets or anything. I just left it as is. And I had a digital kit from last fall. Autumn Autumn something by the Journal Boat. But it's gorgeous. I just loved it. And it has all these beautiful images in here. I did a few little clusters. That's just a bunch of papers that I had left over and put them together. Some of my tea-dye pages. This is one of my leaf pages that I have. They call them Peeble, Peeble leaves. I've had them forever, but they were all these different colors. Red, orange, yellow, and I think purple. But I wasn't using them for anything. They're in the house decor section, something like that. Anyhow, you lay them on your page when you're dyeing it, and it has a gorgeous effect where it bleeds through and puts an imprint on there. Anyhow, I had to shut the door. Sorry, my husband come home. Anyhow, so this pocket was from the Autumn Lane. Gosh, I'm sorry. I should have remembered what that was called. It had a little envelope that went in with the kit. This was one of the pretty images from the kit. And then that is just a piece of old paper that I have had. Yeah, how stained it is. And I said, well, let me put that there. You might have a few notes you want to write down. And see, you can even see the imprint of the leaves because I put several layers together. And I still got some more of those leaves over there, so I might be trying this again. But it's one of those things you have to do outside. So here was a word, and I put some levels of paper there to give it a frame. Here was a beautiful image. This is rug gripper. You put on your rugs, but you take it and you'll put it between your pages, and it makes a pretty neat imprint. This was from the edge of a piece of paper from a pad, and I thought, ooh, let me use that. Here's one of my pretty greens that came out. It went good with the colors in this part of the kit. And here was just a piece of yellow I dyed, so it has a large tag, and I used a bunch of extra pieces of embroidery floss just to use it up. I also did a little bit of a collage up here with pieces of lace and netting, and just try to use everything. Then some journaling area. This pink went really well with this pink. Another one of my little word layers. Another image. This was another little piece of scrap I had and put it with the stamp from the kit. This is one of those pages I learned from Gail Augustinelli. And it's where you take scraps and you rip them. And then you're gluing them over the page. And you're doing them on both sides. And then you'll do a few through the center. And it adds a lot of color to your kit or your journal. This was a doily that had dyed, and the way I forgot to cut the rest of that off. I wasn't sure if I was doing a dangle or not. I'm still not sure. And then I had one of my pieces of coffee dyed paper behind it. And this was another of my dyed papers. And then we're going through the other side of the same pages. There was a piece of doily I had left over. Another of the big tags. And a little cluster. Whoops, I didn't show it to you. Little cluster design up there. Is it? Yes, focused. And on this one, I was using more of that doily. And I was just taking it and gluing pieces and parts all around the outside of here. And you don't really see it. But it adds a pretty little edge and stuff to that page. Otherwise, it's kind of boring. This yellow went good with that. So that's why that page got put there. Plus the green went with this. You always try to layer your pages together. And it just has hope to where they work. And like with this one, the rug gripper squares went really great with this gingham. You got all kinds of writing room there. Here's the other end of my crazy leaf dyed paper. And it goes with the pinks and some of the colors here. This one just has a couple little journal cards. I love this butterfly. And that was like a letter. Oops, let me get him in here. There we go. And what we got left of this one? Just that and that. And that's the back. So let me do the big one. Now this one's a different design. And I'm so happy the way it turned out. But see how I made it kind of an M? But that's great because it expands. I kept thinking, oh, my book's going to be too fat. It bows a little bit, but it expanded for me. Oh, I'm so happy. I'll have to show you how I did that. Anyhow, this is considered the working man's album or journal. So it's all got a bunch of Tim Holtzy people. It's about different men. Like this guy, he's like a car salesman. So these are the cars that he's selling, and this is some of his happy customers. And then I've got just a page on the back with some more car kind of paraphernalia from one of the Tim Holtz paper pads. And you can see where I put together this one with a bunch of stuff, I think, from Theodosia Square. But I also used a little bit of a fingernail file on the edges. And try to file a little bit of that away to give it a rough look. And I've used galvanized numbers on quite a few things through here. Over here, I think, did I show this before? I know you've seen this before in a previous video when I showed you how to do woven pockets. I don't think I just showed this in a video. But this was just a great big large pocket. And he's like a metal worker. But here's some keys and things. And that's just a big journal card. And he's got destination on a piece of... Oh, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Okay, get in there. Okay. Okay, I'm going to have to put you on hold. I got a hungry kitty out there yelling. And he's really yelling. Okay, I'm back. I gave him some gravy food and he's happy. Alright, so this little guy, he finally got something in his pocket. It's just a piece. I think it goes with this, where it's the bicycle man. And this was a large 12 by 12 from the Tim Holtz pack. And this one had the vellum behind it, which I thought was kind of neat. I like the idea of seeing through this. And this little boy, he's taking his music lessons. There's his little piano. And he's learning his bars. And this had a little bit of tea bag behind it. This here, there's a guy here, and I don't know if he was, I don't know what he was, but he's got a lot of rulers. Maybe he's a cigar salesman, because I put cigars down here. This was a piece of, what is that? It's like a piece of, oh, gosh, a wipe, a hand wipe, but it had a cool hexagon design in it. But I dyed it. Anyhow, so I put that together there. Oh, he's out there meowing again. Anyhow, okay, I did this page like it was a file folder sort of thing. And this guy, I'm not sure if he is into the railroad or he's a cowboy or what. Hold on just a minute. I got Kitty. Okay, I'm back. That cat will stress me out. Oh, okay. I took this picture. Danger, do not trespass on the railroad. So I stuck that in there because it's not a deep tuck, but it is a tuck. And I sewed around, and it's got sort of a little cluster design there. I put some fringy stuff I had and tried to sew it all down just to give it sort of a design. And this, I used his arm as the turn for the page. This here is just a tuck, and with a guy with his automobile again. And this was the bicycle guy again in a small form. So I made it a double journal card to write in. And it goes in here. This here is the electric company. It seems like Taylor Electric Company. I had salvaged tags, and that had that, and I thought, oh, I have this light bulb that I have not used. Plus, I used more of that crazy hand wipe thing that I had stained, and then I used this like the power gauges that they would use. And he just goes in there. You can write on the back of it. And then I just had these metallic numbers to put there. Here is just this. What is that? I'm not sure. That was a scrap. Anyhow, here's another one of those galvanized numbers. I put some tickets on here just to decorate it up. And this was just the top of a page that I had used elsewhere in here. But I love the script. This was a 12 by 12 piece, and I call it the texture pad. I don't know what it's called, but all I did was fold that in half, and then I glued it like a little gusset glue or something there. Maybe I just glued it flat, and I made it into a tuck or a pocket for my guy here. He's the guy from the front, so he's the salesman, car salesman. And I put a few things around him. This is one of those portraits from Tim Holtz. And then I put all of these food bags as me and Mom go out to eat. I've been saving the bag, and you turn and use the inside of the bag, and you can cover the back of your tags with, your journal cards with. And I'm finding for this one, especially with it being a manly album and stuff. Now here, I don't know if you can see it. Well, anyway, that works good. The paper bag works good for this type of an album. I did netting. It's like that glitter netting I put on the front of my Paris album. Paris journal. But I thought that was kind of neat. It's just a different look. Instead of doing acetate or some kind of, or just leaving the whole blank. That worked for me. And then on the back, it's one of those, I don't know if these are hat measurements or what those are. But I just put this journal tag there. It could be written on. It has like recipes and stuff on it. And then this is one of my tea bag grounds dyed papers. You just take the tea grounds and you lay it on there. And then you stack other papers on top. And it makes that grungy look. I love it. I saw that from somebody. I'm trying to remember who. But it has a really cool design. And this is my serviceman, and these here are just like punch outs that were from some pad I had over there. And you punch these tickets and other shapes out. And these were what was left behind. So I decided to use that. And I did put some acetate in there. It was just that thin stuff from packaging. And I put peace here. And I made it into sort of a side tuck. I've considered him being maybe one of the horsemen. And I had patriot on a page. And I thought, oh, but I think it's a French word. I'm not sure if it means the same thing. I also made it where this one little taggy thing sticks out, and you can turn the page with that. This was, and this is something about World War II over here, so it went perfect with this page. That was another one of those, what did they call those? I just said it earlier. Can't remember. It was a bag of salvaged tags. That's what it was. Salvaged tags by Tim Holtz. There's another number. Here is, what did these are skillful workmen. So I found a picture in his book that had a bunch of workmen. Looks like they're digging ditches or something. And it has repair tag on it. Also, I took a bunch of little spare tags and things that I had and just tied them together with that to tuck in behind. And the little number will dangle out. And I went through and tried to age a lot of my pages. I've got this one stencil that I can make all these dot and spots and stuff like that. So I try to really age it up. This little guy, it says Adventure Awaits. I don't know if that's exactly supposed to be a railroad or what. It just, it was from the other page over here with the serviceman. And here's the one I did. It's called the Stack Suitcases. And I did the paper bag there again. And it just slips back down in there. And you can kind of see it through his legs. I have a metal keyhole. His suitcase is what you turn the page with. More of that aging. And here I didn't put much in this pocket. It's just something about thrifty ride ticket. And this was another piece from that one 8x8 I had about something about traveling on the road with a car. So I put a bunch of those pieces. This was some texture paste. I had pieces left over from, I think, the Paris album. I'm using up everything. Now, these two pages, you could not write on them. So I went and found these pages and aged them. And I did a little stamping on them. So you can get in here and write on that now. This here is the hardware page, because here's the hardware. I have more of those little punch outs, the negative of the punch outs that I used. I've got 3 guys that works at the hardware store. I've got this piece from a piece of material, and it looked like the colors that you would see in the paint chips kind of a thing. Here's a big yardstick. Here's a key on a paper clip. Here's like a number like you'd have on your house. And this is some kind of weird frame that I had from a natural fibers kit. And then that looked like the base of a lamp. So it went here. And on the other side, we have this book from 1901 that has all these metal things in it. I love it. It's like Sergeants, it's called. So I had done some more texture paste here. It looked like rock. And so that's just a little journal card that goes in there. Of course, more keys. And then here's a page that is sort of like they're playing cards or they're relaxing. And so I've got dice and cards. I put the Joker in here. You can write on this tag. It comes out. It's just got the paper bag on the back. And I wasn't sure what to do with this middle section for the longest time. And over here I've got a big card that I aged. And this is just a simple piece of copy paper that I had put the bingo on. But I thought playing games. Maybe the guys needed to rest. And so this is part of their resting. This is my dad. When we were growing up, that was his favorite drink. Thank goodness you don't drink it no more. This is a newspaper guy. So that's his typewriter. Has just my type. I had this trim that's like a animal print, but it went with this page because it had just like newspaper on it. So he's sitting on a mustache. Oh, I had fun with it. I had fun with it. And then I put a dangle over here too. This is the tailor. He is a tailor, and I don't know if you can see it. See it glittering a little bit. I have a zipper scissors, and I took a strip of this gold foil and I cut it in half and made it look like a zipper. And then I had this, which might be something he would have used on his trims. Here was outfits. Here was just his sign, I guess. This was about costumes. And this is down. Everything's glued down. There's nothing that's a tuck or a pocket there. But on the other side, it was that same paper that you couldn't have wrote on. So I found this and aged it. And I had a few stamps that went along with his occupation. And then here is this little guy. He looks a little odd because he is one of the Tim Holtz men. And I had this outfit that was for a cop. So I dressed him. I had to hem his pants. I had to redo his sleeves. And his hat had these pieces that stuck out, and I didn't like it. So I cut them off. So his hat looks a little crooked now. But anyway, and then this is like a double journal card with some more guys on it. And then you could journal inside. But it had bullet, like for bulletin. There's my bullets. Oh, it's just a play on words, you know. All right, more paper you can write on. It's aged. Here is another flip up. That is the specimen. Gosh, what did I call that thing now? It's another one of my videos. It's a specimen slide tag flip, I think it's called. But this guy, he's got a net here, and he goes out and catches the specimens. And this says glass, handle with care, because I made the slides are acetate and they look like glass. And this is heat embossed. So he goes out and catches specimens for the scientists. That's his job. And then you got one for flowers and one for insects. And then you got, oh, and I haven't put anything in my belly band. I have to put something in my belly band. I forgot all about that. Okay. Then we have this page that can be written on. It's been aged a little bit. Here's the guys at the bar or whatever. Actually, they were drinking root beer. Knapp's root beer. And then I made, here's another one of those negative cutout kind of things. And I put vellum behind it to where it looks like a window. This is some more of that texture paste. And then I try to make them look like they were on a floor. I was going to try to put the middle of the table here, but I think the legs are behind their legs. So that's why I didn't mess with it. Plus I tried to ground their feet a little bit. Okay. Fun, fun, fun. Okay, this is just papers I didn't do anything with. This is a brick mason. Oops, some of the pages are short. He's on the back of that one page I folded in half. But it had foundry on here, so I thought, that kind of reminds me of masonry. So I made the bricks, and I had this from that sergeant's book. I put him a ruler there. He's got his gloves in his hand because masonry is rough on the hands. And over here, this guy, he is a school teacher. Come on out there. So he's got his fancy mustache here. This does have a saw blade on it and some metal stuff, but that's just the way I did it. And then that's more of the paper bag. And when he goes back in here, you can see he's got a hat. I think he's holding his hat. These hats here too. And that's another one of those cloth numbers that I stamped on. And here has the public school. It's got a handwriting example. He's got the alphabet. He's got books. So that was kind of, oh, and a ruler. He's got a ruler. So that's kind of all the implements that he would need to do his occupation. This doesn't have anything, so it can be written on. This is the pharmacist. I had some stuff from the Tim Holtz ephemera. This has something about druggist, regular physician's number. Down here, prescription druggist. J. Edward Hale is his name. And then we've got his little double journal card that it didn't really go with him exactly, but I thought it was cute. And then we've got the other part of that file folder page. Here's the mailman. He's the mail deliverer. I've got some rub-ons on here. A stamp that I made. One of my faux stamps. I have more rub-ons about postmaster and return and forwarding postage guaranteed. More from my sergeant's book. I have 2 ribbons here that go down the side of the page. The tag is the postcard. Well, it's a postcard stamp. I stamped it on the back more of that bicycle paper. And the guy, he's Tim Holtz. This I took a picture of in Hobby Lobby. So, if you see something out there and you like the look of it, take a picture of it like this and cut it out to use as some of your images. It doesn't always have to be a bought ephemera. It could be something you found. Now, these little guys are on one of those woven pages. I really like this design. So all you have to do, and it has to be on a piece that bends just a bit. So this is just a piece of the Tim Holtz paper from his pad. And I put dwell in possibility. And these 3 guys, I guess they're in a factory. They're working in a factory. Even though it's got music paper behind it. I didn't think that one out well enough, but anyhow. Then there's more of the goggles. And then here's the back of the book. And so I thought that turned out so neat. See how it just expands? I mean, this part expands. I love it. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. I hope all my new subscribers are having a great day, and my old subscribers are having just as good of a day. Please give me a thumbs up and stay tuned for the video that will show how I constructed these guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day.